these other networks and platforms are going to be looking at boxing like HBO did. I expect Showtime to leave the sport in 12 months because it's too ferocious, it's too competitive, that people like, not Stephen Espinosa, but the people above him will look at boxing and go, this is expensive, and I'm not sure it's generating the business that we need it to. Just like HBO did. It wasn't a decision of Peter Nelson, it was just the bosses looked at it and said, this market's gone crazy, everything's too expensive, and we're not delivering the numbers. So goodbye.
Bob Arum, he said the same thing.
Yeah,
but Showtime might be.
I think Bob Aram's right. I think Showtime. I think Showtime have a very limited future in boxing.
Limited future in boxing, Under.
Some man, the Edward, who I'd imagine is going to make a wee appearance in this episode.
He might do, you never know. Tell you who is making an appearance. Archie Sharp, nominated by Dominic Henry. Archie Sharp says, Shakur Stevenson knows he can't avoid me for much longer. I'd say he's doing his best to stay out of the way.
Archie Sharp dressing up like fucking Dustin Hoffman and Tootsie, just turning up at every gas station in America trying to rally for the fight.
After he's finished with Valdez, get on to Archie Sharp. Who knows? SK from Ket has nominated Packy Collins. Here's an interesting matchup at 154, says Mr. Collins. Special K Book versus Spike O'Sullivan. I'd rather see Spike versus Book than Eubank Jr. versus Book. Let Billy Joe Saunders finish Eubank. I don't know who's getting the nomination there, Rob. What do you think, Spike against Book?
Interesting, that Packy. How did he come up with that suggestion, I wonder?
Just came to him, Rob. Just came to him.
Came to her out of nowhere, yeah. Oh, I'd watch it.
Good lad, Spike. Good lad. Pascal Collins is a good fellow as well. Good guys. Frank Warren, collision imminent. Fury versus White, 23rd of April, Wembley Stadium. We'll talk about this over the coming weeks. Michael Thompson, Guitar Mikey, hanging around in the chat there, says, Bellew the week for Wilder's photoshopped hand holding the belt, and for betting sponsors on the poster, just after Fury announced he's morally against that now.
Yeah, but the one, can I just jump in on this? The one thing, it's an absolute myth. That is not Wilder's hand at all. It's just a lie. It's not Deontay Wilder's hand. Like, you know what? Fair play. Like, we'll slag whoever off, but it's not his hand. It's just complete fabrication. However, on the betting sponsors, yes, fine, but it's not his hand. It's wrong. And they uploaded a picture, you know, like the wider poster, and it's clearly it's Fury. It's just one person who just created a bandwagon to jump on, because literally
fuck this nomination then. Fuck it.
Yeah, not it's not true. It's literally not true. So
should we ban Michael Thompson from the chat?
No, we don't need to do that.
As well.
I'm only joking. Good stuff, Michael. Thanks for that one. Yeah, thanks very much. On to the next one here. Nang2942. Quite a few people have sent this one in. The WBC have released an official poster for Fury versus White. Good to see they're being professional putting their disputes aside. This is what's coming next, Rob. Don't you laugh?
I fucking wouldn't rule it out. The trifecta. You gotta get that fucking rubber match going there, baby. He said it, hasn't he? So maybe not.
Did they actually release that? Did they actually release that? Because I'm sure that
I thought
that
it was
guy,
a spoof. Simon O'Leary sent it to me as well, man. Surely not.
I'm sure that accounts a bit of a wind-up merchant, to be honest with you. Is that a Rack Noble, or his name is?
Oh, Rack Noble. Isn't he a pro and aspiring pro boxer? I think Terry mentioned him on his podcast before.
I think he's English or somewhere in London way at least.
Right. Nomination for him then, maybe. Oh, look who's coming. Here we go. Billy Boxing 2.0 has nominated Eduardo. Yesterday I was lying. Today I'm telling the truth. You know what I like, Andy?
Where's he heard that one? Where's he heard that, Espinosa?
Exactly. Of Stephen Espinosa. Espinosa. I had my issues with him in the past, but his relentless trolling of Eddie, the fact that he's the head of Showtime, all this money, he doesn't need to get involved, Andy, but he gets down and dirty and trolls Eddie relentlessly on Twitter.
Yeah.
That's something I can get behind.
I know. I think Conor McGregor needs to walk back the comments by calling him a fucking snake by and actually back him up and saying, like, "You're a good guy after all." Actually, anybody who puts the heat and the pressure on old Eduardo, with his plugs and his Botox and that, then I'm all good for that one. Like, yeah, his own pay-per-view, baby. Oh,
It's not as good coming from us, Andy, but it has a bit more weight when Espinosa comes in. He's not like a Transformer duvet virgin like us.
he's
a
not,
bit more gravitas.
Yeah, exactly, mate. It's it might be a PG wearing Transformer duvet covered guy, but he's a
some
top
crack in the
executive.
box and others messenger group. Though,
Yeah, Stephen Espinosa digging out these clips all week.
Get a life, fuck's
Jesus
sake.
Christ, get a fucking life, mate. Meanwhile, see the background of that TV, he's actually got Sky Sports News in the fucking background.
That's the last time he'll be seeing Sky Sports News for a while.
And Bean was fucking laying into this week as well, I believe, wasn't he?
Beanie's giving it to him.
Oh, aye. Well, Bean's wanting to give it to a lot of people by the looks of it these days.
His face when fucking boxer size Ben was on it yesterday. Oh, brilliant, man. Fucking prices.
Oh, fucking brilliant.
Fuck's sake, Espinosa, get a life. Next one, Clarissa the Groat Shields jumping in. Lol, Carl Frampton. That wasn't you commentating on my fight. It was Carl Froch. Carl Froch, I know we've had words in the past, but you did a great job. Appreciate the kind words and criticism. Can't wait to come back to the UK. It was Enzo Macronelli actually who was commentating on her fight.
How the fuck did they... Oh, no, I'm not going to say it.
Leave that one to one side. Nomination for the Groats.
Yes!
Too big, too strong.
Do I have to pay extra for premium content? It says on DAZN's website. Nope, your monthly subscription fee is all you pay. Andrew Culp says, remember when you lied and said this? Because I sure do, and so does Google Cash, even if you conveniently took this down today. And Rob, this is a fair response from DAZN. The original sentiment around pay-per-view as a default, being a broken model in boxing, is something we stand by. For the very occasional events such as this that necessitate pay-per-view, we now have the flexibility to explore fighters, mega fights, and innovative partnerships previously impossible. There you go, Rob.
Oh, fucking
In other words, he just said
innovative partnerships previously impossible. Well, you're still not making the big fights in with your fancy fucking words, are you? Prick.
with the customer care department's just basically saying, we're not fucking made of money. What do you think this is?
Exactly. You think we're fucking stupid? You think we're fucking? You think we can't read the fucking thesaurus to see your fucking?
Don't believe
words
everything
here?
everyone tells you. It's fucking, you know what I mean? It's the real world here, baby. Shit costs money.
Just get it told straight. Innovative partnerships previously impossible. Well, you're not making any fights with fucking Big Al Heyman, are you? Or Bob Allen for that matter. So these partnerships
fights for
are still impossible. No fights
Yeah,
for
they're
you.
out of boxing.
Fights
They're out
for
of
those
boxing,
guys.
them, Andy.
Oh, fuck aye, man.
That's why I can't deal with people who are out of boxing. It's like one of those template tweets, isn't it? You expect them all to tweet out this response, like Conor Ben will be retweeting it out next.
Yeah, in my head, there's a real baddie like at behind pulling the strings at the zone, and Eddie's there crying. But mate, he said we had $1 billion budget. Look, I say a lot of shit, man. I don't know. I was high. Forget about it. We're putting on pay-per-view again. Take the fucking flag, you fucking prick.
Len Blavatnik on the edibles.
Grow up. What's the thing? We're not going to have pay-per-view in boxing, you fucking moron.
I think it was Ozzy who posted up was it the figures for the price increase? It's not going up. Was it 50% or something?
Oh, it is going up. Yeah, Chris Williamson was tweeting out all the numbers.
What's annual sub?
It was
$99, I think it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, $100 or $150 if you don't get in quickly.
Yeah.
Get in
So it's
quickly.
a big increase. Very big increase.
We're putting the fuck all on. What am I going to pick and be rushing in the pay for that shit for?
Lawrence Okoli tonight, Andy.
Oh mate, I just sat and watched it there on my legal stream and it was fucking garbage. I actually felt dirty even fucking putting on my legal stream. Actually, I'm going to run the fucking C-cleaner now to get rid of it.
You're looking at a refund on the stream.
Oh mate, I'm going to run my malware bites and everything just to make sure it's fucking gone. Shambles, man.
Next nomination is Sean Sheehan.
State that. I thought that was Fat Dan when I first seen that. By the way.
That's what Rob says here. Rob113 says makes Fat Dan look like a flyweight.
Look, he's obviously struggling. Good. I hope he's around for a long time.
You laughing last week when he fell off a chair. What you fucking was happening?
I know, but this guy's not that, like this guy's actually. I think he's a nice guy. You know, it's not as funny. It's not full of shit like that. I feel like it's hard to hate him. You know what I mean? I hope he sticks around.
Imagine, you're talking about the way you don't full of shit, but imagine what his shit would be like in the morning. Fucking hedgehog, man.
The fleece. Get the fleece on him. No, shout out to Sean. He's a good guy by all accounts, but he's been nominated. You know, anyone can get it.
Can man, baby.
Including the Groat. She's back again, been nominated by friend of the pod, Joe Kennedy. She's put her top 5 best fighters of all time in exact order. First, Sugar Ray Robinson. Second, Joe Louis. Third, Muhammad Ali. Fourth, Floyd Mayweather. Fifth, Roberto Duran. What do you think about that then, boys? It's
It's
not
not
the
really
worst
like a
list in the
terrible
world.
list, is it? What are we going to do?
No,
Cane
no,
him for
it's
having a
too
fucking
bad.
opinion?
Disappointingly decent from the GOAT there.
It is. For the Baldy goat, it's disappointing. But
Bert Sugar
Potentially
said Joe
betrayed
Louis was the
Duran.
greatest heavyweight of all time, so she's got him in there above Ali. What do you want from the GOAT?
I would have like me Ali, Lewis are interchangeable for top heavyweights of all time. Duran would personally be in my top 5 of all time. Floyd, not so much. That's probably the only gripe I can have is Floyd being too high there. That's all I could say.
But look,
And
the GOAT, Andy, is going to swap out Duran for Hector Camacho, she says. He was OMG, mind-blowing.
Right, okay.
Yeah, buddy, mind blowing is right. You ever seen this fucking documentary?
I know. Camacho was legit.
Oh,
He
shit,
was
I didn't mean that
really
part.
good
Actually,
fighter.
that was
Unintentional value there, Rob.
Yeah, unintentional accidental value there. Sorry, guys. Rest in peace, Magical Camacho. Fuck's sake.
Anyone can get it. Yeah.
Some fighter was Camacho in his day, like especially his prime.
He was a really good fighter to watch. So go and check out Hector Camacho if you haven't
Flash.
seen it already.
Yeah, I actually expected him to be, like you said, when was this? In the mid '80s, he was fighting. So they expected him to be the next Ray Leonard, basically. Would be the next.
Hamid copied a lot of his style. Like people credit
Aye.
Hamid with having such an original style and unique.
He always stole for people. He stole that hang off you bank for jumping on the top rope.
He bit the fucking curl in the middle of his forehead.
I'm gonna say, yeah, the little curl.
Really?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, like he was modeling himself on Camacho at big style, and of course, you know, the fucking the English commentators conveniently forgot that Macho Camacho ever existed anytime fucking Nazi Mohammed was mentioned. Like, he's such an unusual style. Look at the little curl in his forehead. This has definitely never been done before.
I will have to do a punches from the past on Camacho. He was a fine fighter indeed. Brian King, former podcaster, now retired, has nominated Terry Dooley. Dooley says, really enjoy watching Triple G fights, but the hype around him was insane. Greatest middleweight in decades. Bernard Hopkins would have reduced him to tears. He was sea level. I think he's got the rod out there, Andy. If you're looking for a little bite, I'll tell.
Tel was quite forthright in his opinions and that. I understand what you're saying. Hopkins was a different. Listen, Hopkins as a middleweight was a fantastic fighter, by the way. Don't get it wrong. What happened in the later years was him kind of like probably saving himself or adjusting to moving up in weight. And I can understand what you're saying about Triple G and that because I just he never got the breakout fight early enough in his career. He kind of waited till it was at the at the back end, and it was probably on the slide. And look, they two Golovkin they two Canelo fights were fantastic. Actually, I watched them back a few months ago, and that they were really. I forgot as to how good they fights actually were. And that so Triple G is a great fighter. Does he belong with Hopkins as such, or does he beat Hopkins? It's hard to say. Hopkins, as I said, as a middleweight was exceptional.
The Hopkins that beat Robert Allen versus the Golovkin that kind of beat Lemieux. I think that was when they were both maybe with their apex at 160. That would have been some fight. I think Hopkins probably would have beat him, but there was hype with Golovkin, but like saying he was the best middleweight in decades, well, like it was his era, like you know what I mean. Yeah. So he ruled his era, and that was it.
There was nobody doing what he was doing. He was not okay. You can moan about the level of the opponent and that, but he was fucking icing dudes, man. He was like something like 18 knockouts in a row or something like
fucking
that.
Hopkins was fighting Jersey Joe Walcott every week either. Like he had his fucking run of
Morat Takar. There was a few duds in there, wasn't there?
Segundo Mercado, who dropped him twice and got back to a draw.
Rob's right. The Robert Allen, Keith Holmes era of Hopkins was the best era, but here's the best Hopkins at that middleweight. Say Trinidad, Holmes, Allen against the best Golovkin. Be a hell of a fight, you know. I'd pick B-Hop probably, but I don't think anyone would be reduced to tears. To be honest, that's hyperbole.
I think it's a tight fight, to be honest with you. I mean,
yeah,
Hopkins doesn't put a dent in them, to be honest. Golovkin's chin's granite, mate. Fucking hell. It's like the resistance to the Ukrainians just now, actually. Fucking and Hopkins, he would tie it up, but as I say, as a middleweight, if you go back and watch early day Hopkins as a middleweight, and that he was very, very aggressive, very, very active with his punches and that. And the people do say as well, because remember he started boxing late after the prison sentence and that, and then obviously he fought for his first world title. I think he was like 50 at the time, but it was like.
That was against Roy Jones, wasn't it?
Roy Jones, aye.
Yeah.
14 and all, and that was very, very green at the time. But it just shows you how he developed. But yeah, that is a close fight for me. Like I wouldn't say that Hopkins absolutely dominates him or leaves him in tears or anything like that. But talking about like what happened last night, I could see that fight actually being contentious on some scorecards, and Hopkins crying like fuck. Actually, to be honest with you.
Des says Hopkins against Joppy stayed in the pocket all fight and didn't get hit clean. That was a great fight, actually. Just beforehand, they had a bit of a rumble, and Hopkins was adamant he was going to stop William Joppy. Joppy was a good fighter, actually. He beat Howard Eastman and a few others. And I think it was before at the end of the 11th round, Joppy basically touched Hopkins' gloves and said something. And afterwards, they asked Hopkins what he said, and Joppy had said, "From the hood, from the hood." In other words, I lasted the distance. And Hopkins was like, "Fair enough, man. He's from the hood, like he's tough."
Yeah, which is fair enough. But obviously Hopkins like beaten even in his mid-40s, like Pascal, get robbed in the first fight. Robbed. It was just that's fucking saying this weekend and then going back and what he did in the rematch and that absolutely broke him apart. The Pavlik fight, fantastic performance. You come off like fighting Calzaghe in a kind of snooze fest of fighting that to fighting like Pavlik in a fight, and the manner in what he did it as well. It was fantastic. He's like. It was getting to a point really with Hopkins. And I backed him to beat Kovalev because I backed against Hopkins for so long in his career that I says that he knows something that I don't. So I backed him to beat Kovalev, and what happened? He was dropped in the fucking first round. I'm like, oh no, man, he's gonna get fucking.
I tell you what, man, I was calling for him to get stopped in that 12th round. I thought he was taking a bit of shellacking from Kovalev. That was getting dangerous.
He'd have never lost. There was a reason he was out of the ring for fucking 3 years after that, 2 years.
Yeah.
Lost Joe Smith. He took punishment that night. That was a step too far.
Certainly was. Talking a step too far, as Andy's mentioned about the Ukrainians' resistance, Usyk ideally would have wanted to have defended his heavyweight titles in the Ukraine, but for obvious reasons to some, he's not able to do so. But Michelle Joy Phelps is a little bit confused about why this Ukrainian fight isn't going on here. I mean, what's the problem?
Yes, I would like to have a fight in Kiev at the Olympian Stadium.
Why could that not be an option?
You guys don't like fights? You don't like?
Well, I'll tell you what, if they fucking love fights, mate. I'll tell you that much.
I'll tell you what, where the fuck has Phelps been living? Like, why is it not an option?
Eucasis, mate. Eucasis.
I don't get it. Where the fuck she been living? The damn
been self-isolating.
Self-isolating with the internet access, like on TV.
Jesus Christ, like there's barely any credibility anyway, but that was all just gone on that day.
She said something to Josh Taylor too, something it was quality. It was something. She was like, "So Josh, I can tell you're quite down," or something. He was like, "What?"
Just being Scottish, he looks miserable anyways. What the fuck?
Oh fuck's sake, something like that. I don't know. No, that's not verbatim, but yeah. Why can't you guys? You guys don't like fighting. I tell you what, right? That fucking cyber war messes up my fire stick. Then I'm really gonna have to pick a side. At the moment, you know what I mean. Do your thing and hope nobody gets killed. Don't fucking start fucking around with the fire stick.
Me and Andy were talking about that off the air, actually. Never mind Shadow.
No, just because we're paranoid doesn't mean people aren't trying to kill us, Steve. You know what I mean?
But see, the Russians haven't got access to Twitter, so they can't see this banner. You see? What we got here? Tony Bell. Oh yes.
Here's Tony.
What a fucking WBC title.
Tone was getting taunted by a Liverpool fan. He said, "I've won a WBC title. What have you won?" Didn't add Rob vacant belt. I've won a vacant belt, lad.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, there's that. You can't kind of take the Makumbo win away from him as much as fucking that was everybody has a belt spades. He is gone quiet these days, so I have said that. Like, it's cause of direct fucking correlation with his presenter's job on his own and nobody sees it. Like, but he is gone quiet.
Oh my god. I've just seen look, did anybody catch the zone feed by this guy dressed up as Super Mario? Again, who it was? It was fucking. No. I was like, it's fucking Mares Bredes.
He's
turned up
saw it. Yeah, it was
Coley, handing over
what's wrong with him?
McDonald's bag. A McDonald's bag. Because of Coley worked at McDonald's. What kind of banter is that, man?
He's.
What the fuck? What's going on with him?
Was he actually dressed of it?
He was dressed as Super Mario.
Here it's here. Look at the chat now. There it's
He's what happens when you're like a super hard bastard and all your friends just laugh at all your jokes. He thinks he's got nobody saying that. That's not even funny, man. They're all like, yeah, Super Mario, man. You should fucking do that. That sounds great. Don't kill me.
I thought it was some Italian or something when I first heard him speak. I didn't care it was British at the time. Like, what the
Do you
fuck's
think he
this
might
guy?
owe? Do you think he might owe a few quid him? He seems desperate to get a fight, don't he?
I'm trying to fight a YouTuber, was he not?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. He's taking these campaigns to the next level. Is he fucking? He sounds like he's desperately in need of some quick cash.
Oh my god, man. Anything, they'll do anything. Probably reinvent his arse to try and get a fucking payday, man.
Game
Fucking
changed,
hell.
here we are.
Payday.
Podrick tweeted out a desperate
What's that
clown and Bradis.
There we go. Look at that, man.
That is fucking brilliant.
This shite banter though, isn't it? What the fuck is that, man?
Sunday night on the zone, yeah, Bellew. Leave me alone.
Bellew, just leave me alone. Robbie was getting his hair cut live on Instagram yesterday.
He can get left alone if he's fucking hosting a Coley on a Sunday night.
The whole app's
right.
going to get left alone soon, I think.
Sake.
Oh my god. Anyway, final few. Toby's nominated Chisora. Chisora calls out Wilder. I want to taste that power. Let's have a war in Vegas or Wembley.
He's going to taste fresh oxygen if he fucking does that.
Taste them teeth falling out. Graham Taylor, not the former England manager, has nominated Company Nelson. Can we get a Bellew of the Week nomination for some of the people that think this is an actual account, please? Company Nelson tweeted out, another fabulous night of boxing on Sky. Absolute masterclass from Josh Taylor once again. I had it 120, 108 for the Tartan Tornado. Terence Crawford won't want any of that Taylor smoke after that destruction of Catterall. That's a good account, actually, that is. The little picture of Nelson makes it all worthwhile. Jack Catterall tweeting out a load of shit. Rodney B disagrees. Nah, Taylor won. Go look, he still has all of the belts and he took another O away from another undefeated fighter. You fought well. It was your best perform ever. And Josh is worst and he still won. What does that say? You couldn't stop him. Never leave it to the judges.
Oh, fuck off, man. Pish.
I mean, Canada.
One of the worst takes I've fucking seen, by the way, recently.
That's Rodney B. It's not Bitcoin Rodney, is it?
Oh, it could be Bitcoin Rodney. Fucking hell, man. It sounds like fucking Harshcorn Rodney, by the way. Fucking prick.
Oh, Bitcoin. Next few. Here's the Gad. Get him.
Oh, no.
The guy at the premiere for the fucking Yeezus documentary. what's he doing there? Like?
Jesus. What is he doing, man?
The fucking the new movie about the trenchcoat mafia was shit.
Under my overcoat, dangling free. Fucking hell, man. Yeah, that was what I'm talking about, man. No,
Adam Abramovich, Andy. Sorry, don't hate those scorecards. Taylor was ass, but Catterall also let the fight slip away. You were on the pod, weren't you, Andy, back in the day when Abramovich used to grace these airwaves?
Yeah, and I blame Matty for that, actually. I do, because it was fucking...
He needs to fucking do a Roman Abramovich there and go into exile after that one.
Well, I along with 4 other oligarchs, but I was going to say, fucking Matty, right? I'll never forgive Matty, and I wish he was here for this, but see the night fucking Frotch beat Groves? Adam was on the podcast the following day, right? Matty never seen fucking Frotch against Groves. So instead of that, he started the podcast off over Carb was going on in America and had Adam take on the comments of it. Meanwhile, me and Kurt sitting in the fucking background typing to each other, fucking raging. It's like, how's he not talking about fucking Frotch for starting the show? What a cunt this is, man. So never forgave him for that, actually. Started off, so he actually kind of quelled our rage a wee bit by talking. But didn't just quell it. He spoke for about 30 fucking minutes before he brought us in about the Frotch fight. Fucker fucking in the YouTube chat raging. Going to the fucking Frotch fight.
Surely not Maddie. He wouldn't do that. Even the dog is fucking agreeing. Yeah.
Which will Gallagher there, is it?
No.
Final few. We've had a few sent in for Eddie. Starting off with this one.
And I won't embarrass them. They said to me, Eddie, how does it feel to be the best in the world at what you do? And I thought to myself, wow, I am the best in the world at what I do. And I know we can all have a laugh, but let's be honest, like, no one can touch me, right? So I am the best promoter in the world, bar none.
Why does, in your opinion, the best promoter in the world keep losing these purse bids, mate?
Because when you make a bid for a fight, you make a bid in relation to the commercial value of the fight.
Da, da, da.
I don't know, mate. Fair play.
Evening, Ed.
Evening, Ed. What an ego, mate.
Ed, get a life, Coogan. Get a life asking about purse bids. I'm the best promoter in the world. Just leave it with that. I love that. I would have liked to stick around for the explanation there because Cougar, when you bid for a fight and you don't bid enough money, you lose the first bid.
I tell you what, I kind of thought he was raging when he was kind of like explaining that situation. He looked like he was quite angry, you know.
He's coming across a touch bitter, but I tell you what, who you don't get a lot of that with. Ben Shalom. Never get any of that with him. Because lovely guy, that guy.
Adam
Great
Smith
fella.
seems to love that guy. Adam Smith seems to, he's a young Eddie Hearn, but
Even Eddie
he,
there, he's young in the picture. He's no Ben Shalom, is he? Like, do you know what I mean?
Oh, without doubt, man. Ben Shalom hasn't got that chubby cheeks anymore, and he's not got the fucking Botox Lego sex dog type looking at with a fucking comb over and that, you know.
Great guy, Ben Shalom. Even Ed. You pal.
Right.
Go win a push bid, by the way. Oh, by the way, fucking Big Frank again. We won the push. What was the push bid he won there?
Is that
1.8 million or something for Zach Parker versus Andrade?
Zach Parker against Andrade, aye, there you go. Fucking
Where's
Big
all this
Frank
money
calling
coming
big
from?
dog moves, by the way. That's what I'm talking about. You and Ed. Saying that, though, that tells you alone, right? Fucking Andrade priced himself out of the fucking Cotto fight. Wanted fucking 50-50. And his man Eddie Hearn's trying to get him a fight with Canelo, who was just like, fuck this. You want payday? Yeah, you can't even get fucking payday off Eddie Hearn, man. You ain't going to get fucking the best part of 1 million quid, you fucking...
The neck of that fucker, just imagine, who the fuck does he think he is to command 50-50 against Miguel Cotto, one of the fucking biggest pay-per-view stars in the history of the sport? What a fucking boo-boo, man. Come on.
I want payday.
Right, a final video clip from me. It was sent in by Callum a couple of weeks ago. I'd forgotten all about it, but it was well worth digging out. Kell Brook talking about the time he first went into the gym and what drew him into his love of boxing. Interesting stuff on Kell here.
I'm a really hyperactive kid. Really hyperactive, loads of energy. So my dad actually brought me down here to like burn some energy off. And as soon as I come in, I loved it. You know, seeing these grown men like with no top on, sweating, punching back, sparring each other. And I thought, yeah, I'm excited to do some of this.
How old were you then, do you reckon?
I was 9. I was 9-year-old when I first walked in here.
Kell Brook, admittedly, gets turned on by hot, sweaty men hitting punch bags. So, Amir Khan was right.
What gym was that he was in? They were all hot and sweaty.
walking along the English beaches now with their arse hanging out, you know.
Do you reckon Dave Caldwell was on the scene? Hot and sweaty people or not?
No, Dave was looking for the AC unit, mate.
The thermostat. Oh dear.
Fuck me, Brook's an absolute disaster, and for all the shit that goes on about him, he admittedly walks into a gym when he's saying, "Oh yeah, I saw all those people, you know, and they were hot, sweaty men hitting bags, you know." Fuck me, like, what are you doing?
What was it like, though?
Brain depression, by the way. Start fucking bringing that out.
You could be getting hired for that shortly, mate.
I was going to say, I tell you what, mate, Rob, we've got a business to go into here. Your KT impression, and I can do Kell Brook.
Let's see, no context, Kell Brook.
I could do Mohammed Wasim, no problem.
You can add yours to this.
We were all nervous. We were all praying today. But what was it like moments before this Olympic final for you? Were you really nervous?
I just want to thank Natasha for the great fight. It's a great opportunity, and Freddie, just want blessed to have a great.
You bastards! Like, you won't let that go. Tell you what, by the way, one of the positives about the boxer show, Natasha Jonas.
Oh,
come
mate.
on.
Yeah, unreal. Fucking unreal.
Hey, who gives a fuck? Keep Jonas on the fucking screens there.
I'll tell you what, Rob, does she overtake the murderer Vivian Obanov now?
Yeah, I was just going to say, I'm not even interested in the appeal now anymore after that. I'll just watch fucking Jonas. She's out free. She wouldn't kill anyone.
Didn't they already have a battle for your heart, Rob? And Obanov got the better of it.
Woolhouse was dressed for Patrick's Day last night, was she?
She was looking well.
Anyway, moving on. But Woolhouse, like a bit of Woolhouse ones, yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Beggars can't be choosers. Right, let's move on to nothing. In fact, that's all the ones I've got. Any from you, Andy? Episode 463.
I've got a few, mate. Aye. Firstly, I don't know if anybody picked up on it, but I tweeted out about Jordan Gill getting DDT'd during his fucking fight the night. It looked like he was sparkled as well when he fucking got up. What a knockout! That's probably not, well, at least domestic knockout of the year so far, at least anyway. One for Josh Taylor. when he got asked if Jack Cartwright was his toughest fight of his career, he says, definitely not. I says, no, I said, I don't think it was. I says, that was not the toughest fight of my career, honestly. I said, I don't see how he won by 3 or 4 rounds. I thought I won. Okay, mate. Dougie Fisher. I know half of boxing Twitter is going to say I'm fucked in the head, but I thought Taylor did enough from rounds 7 to 12 to edge the bout despite the knockdown. Cattrall scored, and the ridiculous refs point deductions I had at 114-112 for Taylor. So one for Dougie Fisher. Steffi Bull, actually, this is quite funny, having a wee dig at Ben Guardiola, quoting, they're lazy, that's the reality of it. I outwork them, and that's the reality of it. They may have 30 or 40 years on me, but the amount of time I spend studying the sport, my fighters, the opponents, it is unrivaled work. Ben Guardiola.
Unrivaled work.
Fucking unrivaled work. I've got one for the JBC, Japanese Boxing Commission, actually. You know how they banned the Kameda family going back to that situation? Remember, one of the brothers got involved in a fucking fight?
Oh, Koki Kameda.
Koki Kameda, I think it was.
Yeah.
No, it was Daki. Daki
Was it
Kameda,
Daki?
actually. It was.
Yeah, they're roughhouses, aren't they, the Kamedas?
Aye, so I think the father who was in the corner got his license rescinded and they couldn't fight in Japan anymore. So that was back in 2014. They took it to court and they won the case, and they've been given damages of something like 45 million yuan, which is like $400,000 US or something.
Wow.
So the JBC need to fork out. Talking about gate revenue as well, Teofimo Lopez, George Kambosos sold 4,142 tickets, comps 523, gate revenue $500,000. So
Game changed.
Game changed, baby. Game changed. And final one for me, Steve. One for Eddie Hearn for his tweet out of the Canelo Bivol DAZN pay-per-view. Canelo's come to pay-per-view with a wee Mexican flag there, but Bivol from Russia, no Russian flag. Now I know the situation's a bit kind of tense at the minute, and that, but evening, Ed.
Disappointing. Good stuff, Andy. Thank you very much. Ozzy, anything from you, sir?
Ian John Lewis for that moronic card he put in last night. Victor Lachlan for another moronic card that he put in last night. Aside from that, no, my other two were nominated already. Michelle Joy Phelps being the utmost biggest bint going off me.
Rob, anything from you?
Oh yeah, I just have. I don't know if it was chopped in and out there, but I don't know if you caught the Ben Davison one. So in the press conference afterwards, he said straight away, over to you, Ben, and he went, yeah, well, tight fight, but even the great Floyd Mayweather had a fight where people thought the opponent won. It's like, what the fuck has that got to do with anything? This is the greatest robberies in the history of the fucking sport. You're talking a totally different fight as well, by the way. What a fucking... and then went on to talk about himself and, pass over the mic to Taylor. But Bean's face, when he said that, you could just see in the corner, him and Ben Shalom. Ben Shalom just does the stare where he's like, trying to stop himself from either bursting out laughing or saying something, and Bean is just kind of looks away, so nobody's making eye contact with him when Davison's on a run. So, yeah, that was pretty bad. Like the Michelle Joy Phelps one was fucking pretty tough to beat. Like, oh fucking hell! I thought Carl Froch deserves an honourable mention for his descriptions of how Amir Khan lost the fight. Earlier in the week as well, like he was fucking extremely hard on Khan to the point that I think Khan's missus answered him or something on Instagram, didn't he? And said that he kept on talking how much of a beating that Amir Khan took and how he would give him credit because he took such a beating and he really got beat up for the whole fight. He was outclassed, beat up. It was just fucking, and he's just sitting there with a fucking straight face on himself. And then I think it's like Umar, one of them, and he's like, so do you think that Khan should enact a rematch clause?
I suppose a late one for Chris Colbert, mate, considering all the shit talk he did during the week. He shat the bed there, mate, and just to shat the bed, ran.
I was surprised at that. Actually, I was surprised. And then when I saw the fight, the guy looked a lot bigger than him, didn't he? Just couldn't get off against him. Like, it was a big size.
He's too small. He can't punch.
He can't punch. Yeah.
No. Got to run out the ring.
And you can't trust fellas with dyed hair and tassels on their shorts. Keep telling you, you can't trust them to go ahead and fucking be top five.
He dropped the pink chicken shorts as well, which was a bit disappointing, I thought.
Depends where you're looking from, I suppose.
It was funny because see when he got dropped, see his trunks were that long that it almost folded them up and almost tucked him into the head. Actually, you noticed that?
in a little sleeping bag.
It's like he was going out in that roll of carpet from that fucking fight that was on over before with the boys.
The Egypt fight.
yeah.
Oh dear. Yeah, a couple from me. I just remembered. Shout out to the fat Scottish heavyweights, and also I think it was Josh.
Oh, the
Windass.
boys, yeah, the Scottish heavyweight title. That's escaped. Who fucking knew about that? Boxer really fucking bring it out. You know what I mean? As much credit as Ben Shalom gets because he is great. The roster's a bit thin, isn't it? and the guys contesting the fucking Scottish heavyweight title are definitely not.
Okay, they're not very thin.
Fucking hell. What was that, man? They needed do you know what? They needed that clip, the viral clip of the Scottish woman and one of the kids after shitting in the toilet. She comes in, she's like, who done a fucking... She should have got the cards and the two of them and be like, disgusting, well, fucking what he is. Who scored that fight? Fucking 7 rounds to Josh Taylor.
Old school meme, man.
Disgusting.
Fucking disgusting.
Yeah, I haven't seen that for years, class.
Getting broad Scottish. Dirty cunts.
Right, yeah, so it's a tough week, Andy. There's been quite a few strong ones. Eddie throwing himself in there. There's been posters, there's been requests, there's been call-outs, there's been Chisora, Nelson, Gad, Brady's dressing up there. I'm going to go for Michelle Joy Phelps for me, man. I think the Ukraine one gets it.
Without doubt is she getting it, man. I mean, I would imagine, like, say, what's her name? Kate Aries' job safe now. You know, because I'll tell you one thing, fucking dim shit is like fucking no Mrs. Current Affairs anyway. Put it that way. Fucking hell. So Kate Aries, her job safe. Alice Askew, fucking Lily Abeg, for example. Now all the women who are brave women, war correspondents now have been at all the war zones.
Terry Waite,
fuck I come here.
Theresa Mannion.
Nelson Mandela. So, you know what I'm saying? So, just listen. Geopolitics are no for her. And
she'll start reporting for Russia Today next, I think, to the bottom.
Did you see the look at Usyk gave her by
fans.
Did you see the look that Usyk gave her, by the way, when she actually asked the question?
Man.
Yeah, he's looking like, are you fucking drunk? Are you really fucking asking that
He
question?
gets as well, like, he's looking at it. What? Where did he just get out of the fucking hell?
Michelle, for you, Andy.
MGP without fail, mate.
Ozzy, who you going for?
For one and only Michelle Joy Phelps. Stupid cow. Fuck me.
So why don't the Glasgow
Absolute
Rangers
disgrace.
and the Glasgow Celtic all just not sit together in the stadiums?
Oh, fucking good. That's what I hate with the Yanks when they call Glasgow. It's like Moscow, Moscow. I'm like, what the fuck is that?
Glasgow.
What the fuck is that?
Wasn't it Buffer, Andy, who famously introduced Jim Watt once as Jim Scott from Watland? I'll never forgive him for that.
Jim Scott from
Watt says I'll never forgive him for that. I think it was Ian Dart brought it up on the commentary a few years ago.
I can remember the night that Burns fought Mitchell, by the way, right? And he starts rhyming off this fucking historical fucking outlier about what happened between the Scottish and English back in the fucking 1300s, like back in 13, whatever it was, William Wallace rose up against Edward Longshanks. I'm like, oh, here we fucking go, man.
And then Mel Gibson popped up and said, "You'll never take our freedom."
Mates.
Clean sweep for Michelle, Rob. Who you got?
Oh yeah, Michelle Joy Phelps coming to a fucking news anchor near you. She should do daily updates really on this conflict if you really want to fucking find out, get to the nitty gritty. So yeah, no, I'm it's hard to vote against her, isn't it? Like fucking hell, it's hard to find out one that's going to top that boxer size bin. Gets off fucking like this week, yeah. Reporting.
The Colbert report, not good.
The outlook is grim. Once again, I think we should can't close the pod without drawing attention to that blatant robbery last night. against
Yeah,
Rigo.
judges.
It's Rigo in Dubai.
Judges.
What is going on? You fucking idiots are ruining it. Rigo's
The
comeback
judges
is over.
need a nomination for last night as well, actually.
Yeah, definitely. He and John Lewis for the 3 rounds. Fucking... Anyway, no, let's not. Special type films. That's it.
Congratulations, Michelle. You're the Bellew of the Week for episode 463.
New crisis.
Before we close out. Before we close out, in case you're wondering what the Bellew of the Week is, quick check in on our old friend Audley.
Bellew of the Week. What was that? Wait, somebody said you narrowly just missed out on Bellew of the Week, mate. Was close. You and Bean. What Bean? Tell me more. What does that mean? I'm clueless what you're talking about, buddy. What does that mean? Share some insights with me. Bellew of the Week. Hello. I just got to let you know.